Yeah, Sirisha ji. You're back?
Ma'am, I was explaining what is the meaning of suppressing versus taking control of my...
Accepting and suppressing.
Can you repeat that?
Accepting versus suppressing is when, like, I'm giving a lecture. Okay. So few of them are unhappy. Then I feel it's okay. Let it be. They might be unhappy. Let me accept. Let it be, let it be, let it be. So what is happening inside me? Pain is there, but consciously I'm trying to, not to take pain to myself. So, but still deep in the subconscious mind, what will be there for me? Some pain, these guys have not accepted me, right? So accepting is like, before the session itself, as I don't have any result or outcome based thinking, I know the fact that people are of different mindset. I'm least bothered, however they react, it's their choice. So people start saying something also, with nothing will touch me. So that is acceptance.
Can I give an example to get a little more understanding to this? Ma'am?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Till now, what did I talk? You all listen to me or not?
I heard you, but I still can't comprehend my thoughts between suppressing versus taking control, right?
Yeah, sure. Do you all remember,
I was just...
your mama scolds you today, you will not be bothered about it. Okay? You understand your mom has a reason to scold you and you are moving ahead in life. But when you take...
Can I give an example instead of your example? Because I may able to understand a little better on that.
Sure.
Do you mind?
Yeah, please.
Okay. I was referring to say now I'm angry on somebody or something, right? I want to crush that person or beat up that thing or destroy that thing or beat up that person. That is my anger, right? Whereas when I'm but I am in acceptance of that anger, but I don't destroy that.
That is suppressing. Right? That is suppressing. When you are accepting,
So
you will not be anger at
all. What is the meaning of accepting?
Accepting is like, because of whom you got angry, what made you to feel angry. Your incapability to accept the reality or the other person. When we blame the other person, we get angry. When we realize that it is my incapability to take the situation, then you will not get angry. You start working on yourself. That is acceptance.
What is the meaning of, is it not blaming oneself for what is not your mistake? Or, I mean, every time you understand the situation and make yourself responsible
what actually
for
bothers is our reaction. What actually bothers us is our reaction. Yes or no? So here again comes whether you're reacting as a boss, as a parent, as a spouse, as a sister, as a daughter, in which role you are reacting. So then you can justify.
Okay, as a mother, if I had to react, as a mother, I am so angry right now. I want to crash my kid. But yet I am not doing that.
Okay.
Is that suppressing
why you want
my
why you want to crash your kid?
Because there's some things that I've told, she has not done it.
So what I'm happened if at all they did not do? What happened? So your ego got disturbed or something? What happened? So if at all your child did not do, why you are feeling it so painful?
I'm getting irritated to see things around, right? That
so
is why my ego is not getting hurt here. My nothing else, right? But multiple occurrences of letting the person know to do ABC things and it is not happening. So How do I comprehend that?
Why? Multiple occurrences of such situation. What is bothering you about it? What is running in your head at that time? What thought? Irrespective of saying many times you are doing like this, irrespective of
Yeah.
me saying you, is that I wala touching you?
No.
Or
No.
things are not happening according to your wish, that is bothering you?
I not really, I guess.
Right?
Not
So,
really, I guess.
so here what is happening? What is bothering you is your own expectation.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you
Yeah.
understand, because I kept the expectation, I know my child can do only up to this extent. Apart from that, it is difficult for my child. Still, I kept my expectation, and as my expectation is not keep on getting fulfilled, I'm getting irritated. When you understand it, that is acceptance. But when you get irritated, but like at house, like everyone's watch you, like you are reacting or something, because of that, like you hold back your emotions, that is suppressing. So when you accept what will happen for your next time behavior, that pain will not come, your attitude will not change, you will work the way the things will work. But when we are suppressing, what will happen? You will become more aggressive whenever you are giving the next task to your child. And
So
always
does
you will
it
be
mean
poking
that
them.
I'm going to accept whatever my child does? Is that the meaning of acceptance?
So, acceptance is internal. Internally, you have to do that. Okay? Because you need to be happy. That is first point. Second point, as a mother, it is your duty to make the child work as they have to be, right? For that, you need to just project on the surface area as if you are angry, but you should not feel angry. Projecting is different, feeling is different. A small child comes to me moving here and there. I say, hey, go and sit there. Really, do I get angry from inside? Really, my intention is to hurt the baby? No, but only when I say in such a way, the child will come into control. So I am doing it only on the surface layer. I'm doing just performing my duty because that helps the child to be on the right track. But internally, am I taking any pressure? I'm not taking.
No.
So that is important. That is how we need to just balance the mind so that emotions will be under control. When you accept, the mind will be refreshed and the negative emotions will not touch you. But you will do the task which you're supposed to do.
Okay. Got it.
Got it? We need to
Thank
start
you.
applying it. Yeah. The seventh sloka.
यस्त्रिन्द्रियाणि मनसा नियम्यारभते अर्जुन कर्मेन्द्रियैः कर्मयोगम् असक्तः न शिक्ष्यते यस्त्रिन्द्रियाणि मनसा नियम्यारभते अर्जुन कर्मेन्द्रियैः कर्मयोगम् आसक्तः न विशिष्यते.
Nice. So what here Krishna is saying now? All are indriyas. The information is processed. So we are having three layers. Like, one is through the panchendriyas. Panchendriyas, we are talking about Jnanendriyas here, through which the information is processed into mind. Over that, what we have is our mind. And over the mind, what we have is our intellect. So, Indriyas are very dangerous. Like, they process all the information, whichever we see around, whichever we hear, whichever we smell. So, what filters them is our mind. Yes. So after filtering, what keeps us in control is our intellectual. And how to gain our intellectual is only always gaining much knowledge, understanding the reality, and enriching ourselves. So always we need to focus on balancing in the mind, means increasing the knowledge and understanding the reality, and it should be a consistent practice. So understand these three filters in the mind, how they are processing us, what is leading us.
Ma'am, can you repeat this, please?
Panchendriyas process the information to mind. Mind filters it and saves the data. But over the mind, what is there that helps us is intellect. Indriya, Manasa, Buddhi.
Panchendriyas process the information to mind, and mind does what?
Filtering. Do you all remember, like, how conscious mind filters the data and sends it to subconscious, basing on experiences? This is right, this is wrong, this is beautiful, this is ugly, this is the best, this is not suitable to me. It filters. And how this filtration is happening? With our intellect. That is buddhi. So how you can enrich your intellect is by gaining more knowledge. Here is Krishna saying now, how we need to control our panchendriyas now? With support of mind. Because while conscious mind is filtering the data, it knows this is right, this is wrong, right? So whoever controls the information getting processed into my mind and do the task. Someone visits your home, okay? Someone visits your home with, like, they are very, very untidy, they are very dirt. Now, what you will be doing them during this corona lockdown? Will you allow them inside? You will not do that. Why you will not allow? Because from where you are looking this untidiness of the person? Through your eyes. This is one of your indriyas. The information is going there. And with which, like, the union is getting with your mind. Mind is saying, like, this person is looking untidy. During corona, you cannot allow him. And that is making you to worry more if at all he steps into your house, right? This is how actually the process works. And the same process works when you are judging the other person, when you are worrying about a pain, when you are feeling insulted. So Krishna is saying, in such situations, kindly don't you control your indriyas while you are doing a task which you are supposed to. Because we start judging people, like, see how the way they are looking at me, see the way they are smiling at me, both of them might be talking about me. So these kind of, all these are getting processed through your indriyas, and mind is giving some kind of filtration to them. This is what they are doing. And with this kind of filter, what we are doing, we are attaching them to our karma. Karma means any action which we are doing. Then obviously what happens to that? Don't you get our karma get impacted because of it?
Yes.
Definitely karma gets impacted because of it. You will do more productive work if at all I'm smiling and I'm giggling. You will do more unproductive work if at all I'm serious and I'm strict. So what is happening? Our action is getting influenced by the panchendriyas. So Krishna is saying the panchendriyas should not influence our kartavya, our duty, our responsibility. So you have to control your panchendriyas with your manaha, that is your mind. Then you will perform your duties. But nowadays, why we are unable to perform our duties? We feel like, see, I am doing my duty, but my husband, see, he won't even respond and identify what I'm doing at home. See, my kids from the childhood, I'm like, taking a lot of care about them, but today they don't respect my love. So what is happening here? Your indriyas are influencing you, and your mind is not controlling your indriyas, and that is coming, reflecting on your duty. So Krishna says, like, if at all we are right persons, we want to be happy, okay, we are not supposed to do in such a way so that we become Manava Shreshtaha. We will become a Shresht, like, good person, identifiable person among the human beings. Third chapter, 30th sloka. Upendra garu chaltara?
చదువుతామండి. I will read.
Yeah, please.
मयि सर्वाणि कर्माणि संसिद्धात्मचेतसा विनाशर्मिर्ममो भूत्वा यद्यस्य निगतज्वरः.
So what Krishna is saying now, simple. See, we cannot leave task to anyone, right? Let me tell you one thing. When we are working with someone else, when we are working under a boss, we will take one day leave freely. Like, after taking a leave, nothing will bother us. Why nothing will bother us when we are on a leave? We feel like, I took a leave. I don't have any responsibility. The responsibility is taken by my boss, who is the owner of that particular business or something else. But if at all it's our own business, even we take one day break, what happens? We have that responsibility. Something will be keep on bothering us. In the same way, what Krishna is saying, like, whatever you are doing, leave the outcome or the result onto me, and you please focus on the work so that at back end something will not bother you. So the same concept, CBT, we have to focus on the behavior but not on the result. When the behavior is completely good, the result will come automatically. But when you keep on thinking about the result, oh my God, my kids should flourish, my kids should flourish, you are focusing only on the outcome. Whenever there is a fluctuation on that, you will keep on disturbed about it. And when you focus on the behavior, what should be the timetable, what should be the diet, what should be the skills needed, what are the resources I should provide to the child, when you keep focusing on the action plan, then obviously the result will come. Or thoda bahut result idhar udhar hua to bhi, like, it will not bother us a lot because our focus was on behavior and we were giving our best on the behavior. And when we expect like that result, we have a figure over there. It is 100 or 90. Whenever that is fluctuating, that bothers you a lot because only action is in your hands, but not the outcome. So we need to realize in this spiritual context, like, what Krishna does, because we human beings always need someone. We need a companion. We need a person who takes a responsibility. But always it's not sure, like, we get every person in life like that. So Krishna says, like, leave everything onto me. I will take care. You just do your duty. So if you are following, like, God, you are into spiritual sector, really leave everything onto him and start working out. If at all you are a scientific approach person, then believe, like, when your action plan is right, then definitely the outcome will come. So always your focus should be on what should be done, how should be done, who should do, where should be done, all these aspects. So question yourself, how, what, where, when, why, you will get all your answers. Now comes most important sloka. Yes. So if at all you see the second chapter, third chapter, and, like, when we reach again in the level 3, we will have much more depth about the mind, which is taught actually in the 6th chapter. So now if you see in the third chapter, this 34th sloka, sir, please read it. Indriyastendriyasya
इन्द्रियस्येन्द्रियस्यार्धे रागद्वेषौ व्यवस्थितौ तयोर्नवशमागच्छेत् तौ यस्य परिसन्धिवौ इन्द्रियस्येन्द्रियस्यार्धे रागद्वेषा व्यवस्थितौ तयोर्नवशमागच्छेत् तौ यस्य परिबन्धिनौ.
So we all know, like, whenever we want to achieve any
Ma'am, can you repeat the sloka once again, please?
Yes. इन्द्रियस्येन्द्रियस्यार्धे रागद्वेषौ व्यवस्थितौ तयोर्नवशमागच्छेत् तौ यस्य परिपन्थिनौ. Okay, ma'am?
Yes, thank you.
I will repeat again. इन्द्रियस्येन्द्रियस्यार्धे रागद्वेषौ व्यवस्थितौ तयोर्नवशमागच्छेत् तौ यस्य परिपन्थिनौ.
Whenever we are working on any goal, what we do, we actually cut our goal into small pieces and we start achieving one after the other so that our big goal will get fulfilled. So we will make, like, short term, very short term, medium term, then we will achieve our long term goal. In the same way, if at all we want to control our mind, actually this mind is driven by the five indriyas, right? Our eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin. So Krishna says every indriya has its own ragadvesha. Its own ragadvesha is like, everything have its own likes and dislikes. My eye likes certain things and it dislikes something. My ears like certain words, they dislike certain words. My tongue has certain likes and dislikes. My skin likes certain touch and certain touch it doesn't like. In the same way, what you need to have control over now? On your likes and dislikes. So how you have to control them is, we should not get influenced, because when you are aware, like, these are my likes and dislikes, so these are my visuals, these are my auditory, these are my kinesthetic is touch. So when you are having a clarity about it, you need to reframe. You need to reframe them so that they will not start bothering you. You may feel like, someone should not call me with my name. That is my thought. I don't want to hear me calling with my name. I just want to hear me calling as mom or something else. Then what happens if someone calls me with my name, every time someone calls me, like, I get disturbed. When I know I'm getting disturbed, I can't change the entire world. So single change I need to make in my system is, like, alter that particular aspect that someone should call me with madam. No, delete it. Delete that particular programming from my mind and reprogram it. This process is called as thought restructuring. Thought restructuring. So whenever we are helping clients in cognitive behavioral therapy, we will be using thought restructuring or visual restructuring. And there is
Can you give one more example, slightly more, slightly more?
So I'll tell you. Desensitization.
Complicated.
Desensitization is one of the therapy used for healing the clients. Okay. So what is happening? Like, I get panic attacks whenever I see a dog. This is my problem. So why do I get a panic attack whenever I see a dog? Because when dog is in front of me and it is barking, I I start getting freezed, and my heart, I have shortness of breath, and I start worrying a lot. Because what is happening at that time, I'm not just looking at the dog barking in front of my eyes, but here in my mind, I'm having a visualization that dog may bite me. I need to run to hospital. I need to get vaccinated or injections. I may fall down if at all dog is running behind me. I cannot protect myself. These kind of visuals are creating lot of pressure in my mind and making me panic. So if at all I cannot work at my emotion level, always I need to work out on my thought level so that I can get a change in emotion and behavior. Please keep the triangle in front of you. Outcome or result, behavior, emotion, thought, or beliefs. Okay. So actually, why I'm getting this kind of thought? Because of my thought visual only, I'm facing this kind of emotion. So to change my emotion and behavior, slowly I'll ask the client to sit, and I'll be asking him to re-visualize in a positive way, as if dog is just beside and it is just like, moving its tail and smiling at me, and I'm just taking a walk and moving ahead very simply. So it takes multiple applications, like, multiple times the client needs to visualize so that the earlier visualization slowly gets faded out and this new visualization takes place in the mind. Okay. So same thing is needed. Like, we need to identify whether the person is looking at the visual or thinking about the sound. The person is visualizing or thinking about a sound. He's recalling words. When a person is recalling words, we call that person is auditory, dominant in auditory. The most of the times we call only words. So we need to ask them to think about new words, sweet words, which the person likes. If at all a person is a visual oriented person, then we need to ask the person to re-visualize. And both of them can take place by reframing the thoughts which they are having.
Reframing of thoughts.
Got it? You can apply this anywhere. It's related to interview, examination, or playing a cricket, playing a game, talking in front of people. Some people have phobia of going into shops and getting socialized. So all these things can be worked out just like, restructuring the thought process. And how do you understand? It's like, first you need to understand what is running in their mind, what is bothering them. So basing on that, you can restructure. So now Arjuna, like us only, asked a wonderful question. Sir, please read it.
Which one? 36, 35, 36,
36. 36.
36. अधतेन प्रयुक्तोऽयं पापं चरति पुरुषः पूरुषः अविच्छन्नपि वर्ष्णेया बलादिव नियोजितः अधतेन प्रयुक्तोऽयं पापं चरति पुरुषः अविच्छन्नपि वर्ष्णेया बलादिव नियोजितः बलादिव नियोजितः.
Right. So here Krishna is saying, like, Arjuna is asking, see, any one of us, like, none of us want to take the pain, none of us want to commit a mistake, but still what is encouraging us to do in such a way? So now all of us have it out, like, we don't want to get emotional, we don't want to feel sad, we don't want to hurt others, we want to be happy, we want to make others happy. But what is pushing us to commit a mistake? What is pushing us to be into a suffering? This is the question of Arjuna. So for this, the wonderful answer given by Krishna is, yeah. See, we may get disconnected. Once we get disconnected, you can take a 10 minutes of break and we'll join back, and today we'll finish the slokas. Yeah. Kama yesha krodha yesha rajo guna samudbhavaha mahasano mahapapma vidyena mahivairinam. So it's very clear what he's saying, like, kama yesha krodha yesha. What are the factors that are actually influencing us to perform something is kama and krodha. Kama is not just a biological sexual desire. Kama is like, any expectation, any desire. We have any unstoppable desire towards anything that is called as kama. You have unstoppable desire towards a food, like, towards achieving certain things, or towards your dresses, or anything that is called as kama. So here Krishna is saying, because of this kama, whenever that is not getting satisfied, what is happening is we are getting angry. And what is happening because of this angry? We are becoming reactive. And such a way we are falling into this vicious cycle. So if at all you want to be out of this vicious cycle, which is bothering us a lot, like, either we regret, we make others feel bad, we get hurt, or we hurt others. All this shit is happening because we are unable to control our angry. Why we are unable to control our angry is because, like, there is no stop for our expectations. So always keep working around the expectations, so that once our expectations, again the expectations, like, speak about, once we accept, we are sure about that this should be the result. I am giving protein to my child should definitely be so fat, like, or whatever it is, be very healthy. It's not mandatory. We don't know how the biological metabolic cycle running in the child and how it is processing the food it is taking. Never the result will be in our hands. So expectation, we should not. We can just have, like, if this comes, that's good. For that particular aspect, we need to start working karma. But not, we should not be sure, like, at any cost I should get this kind of output. We should not be like that. That keeps on bothering about it. So remember, and this sloka you can use in any kind of training sessions. This is very much important. So
Did we see 36 shloka?
30,
I didn't.
37th this is.
This is 37, but 36 did you finish?
No, 36
We
is
started,
also
but
same. 36 I told you, no? Arjuna asked a question.
You told.
We don't want to do anything, but still why we are forced to do into this aspects, and why we are entering into suffering. No one of us want to react. No one is want to get angry, or we don't want to get frustrated. But still, what is making us to react in such a way? So that is the Arjuna's question. We all want to control our mind, but why we are not able to control our mind? So then Krishna says in the 37th sloka, Kama yesha krodha yesha rajoguna samudbhavaha. This rajoguna, the sattva, raja, tamo gunas. Tamo is the most worst and rajo is the moderate one, which is reason for all our expectations, the desires which we have. When any one of our desire is not getting satisfied, automatically we start feeling bad. So always we need to be keeping control over it. And how it is happening, you see. Why we are unable to control our expectations? Because we are not using our intelligence. What is happening to our intelligence? See. Dhume navriyate vahni ryadhadarso malena cha yadholbhena vruto garbha tadhate nedamavrutam. So how it is getting? Intellect is covered by what? Tell me how? What did you understand from this?
Intellect is covered by smoke. intellect is covered by smoke. That's called kama.
Fire is covered by smoke.
Called kama.
Mirror is covered by dust. And baby in the womb is covered by?
Intellect is covered by kama.
Huh?
Called smoke. And the intelligence.
No,
That is
no. Kama, it will not come in Kama.
So what is happening here is like,
Yeah,
the baby in the
Correct.
womb will be covered in the bag, right?
correct.
Mother's womb. And fire, if at all it is covered with smoke, you cannot see the fire. You can see only smoke, but the fire will be there. In the same way, mirror is there, but entire mirror is covered with a dust or dirt where you cannot see yourself. Mirror will not play its role. In the same way, our intellect is covered with what? Our expectations, our desires, our wishes. So we are aware, like, I'm not supposed to expect this way, but still our thirst, our thirst for our desire will not stop us, our enlightenment to come out. It will stop this because of this desires. So what we need to do with our conscious mind, always take control over your wishes and the desires, so that what happens, your mind will start growing into a super conscious state. But always, do we go under control of our expectations or not? It happens very subconsciously. It happens very subconsciously. Instantly, someone comes, I wish them good morning, my mind instantly expects they should wish me good morning. I give them a glass of water, next time I go home, like their home, they should give me a glass of water. So subconscious mind always works on like expecting back. So you need to work on always. That's why the Karma Yoga is started with importance of Swadharma. When you focus much on Swadharma, your desires will come down. You will stop expecting from outside. Got it?
Ma'am, baby is covered with?
Yeah, I don't know what exactly that is called in English. The water will be there, no?
Scientific word is placenta.
Ah.
As it covers placenta.
Ah. Once it's break, then only the baby comes. But like, it is a temporary one, but where the baby is staying in that. Because of which the baby is not out to the world. Got it? So see how it is. Yeah. Now see Bhagavan Uvacha. What Krishna is saying again.
avrutam jnaname tena avrutam jnaname tena jnanino nityavairina kamarupena kaunteya दुष्पूरेण नलेवचा दुष्पूरेणावलेवचा आवृतं ज्ञानतेन ज्ञानिनो नित्यवैरिणा कामरूपेण कौन्तेय दुष्पूरेण नलेन च.
Yeah. So I guess you all remember the basic economics, like, wants are unlimited, wants never